Okay. Can you hear me? Hopefully you can. You guys, I'm just testing this out. I don't know if it really works or not. I hope you can hear me. I'm watching my volume go up and down. The noise in the background that you hear is my husband working on my kitchen. We're redoing the kitchen a little bit so we can add the new appliances in there. So that's what we're doing right now. Okay, you guys, I'm coming to you with some information and um, or with something I want to discuss. And something I struggle with all the time because I just do. Um, it's called opinionitis, having a lot of opinions. Well, I do. And I don't try to hurt people's feelings when I have my opinions. I really don't. It's just things that go through my mind. And they come out wrong sometimes. That's just how it is. And I don't try to hurt anybody's feelings, but sometimes maybe I do touch a nerve or something. I have to also tell myself on a constant basis that I am definitely far from perfect. I have a past, and all my friends know I have a past. And I don't try to hide it, I just don't capitalize on it. And I feel that I've grown from all the things that I used to do to the things that I do now. And maturing, learning things, doing things differently in your life. You have to set some standards and you have to set some goals and be positive even when you think you can't be positive. I know I've been through a lot in my life. And with everything that I've been through, I've learned from each thing that has happened to me, whether it's my fault or I had no control over it. I had to learn from those things. And a lot of people don't learn. They continue to do the same thing. And it doesn't, it bothers me a little bit, but it's not my concern. I can't make myself be concerned about small things. And I don't want to sound like I'm uncaring or cold because I am not. Far from that. Sometimes, you have to say what you have to say. And when we do, sometimes people are not going to like it. Like people say things to me that I don't like. I either suck it up, move on, or, do something different. I mean, you learn from what some people say. I learn all the time. I constantly keep my mind open to learn new things and to learn about things that are going on in everyday life. Some people are not able to do that. So they go through times in their life where, they're determined or just let everything stay like it is. I know this is not appropriate for me to be doing this, but you guys, I have hot flashes. Yes. Yes, I'm at the age where I have hot flashes. But anyway, so I just want to say if I offended anybody, anything I say, I apologize. But then again, I don't because I shouldn't have to apologize. I should be able to speak whatever I have to say. Freedom of speech has not been taken away from us yet. Okay, enough about that. As you can see, this is one of my books I wrote, Handling Your Business, How Does Your Garden Grow series that I was doing, and I'm going to rewrite this book. Matter of fact, here's my other book. This is the personal journal for Handling Your Business series, just to keep a woman on the go, um, keep up with all the stuff that she does. Um, and in the back of this book, see how I can change over to different things? In the back of this book, it has a personality test that you can take. Very, very interesting. Um, and with that personality trait, you can tell what type of person you are. It also has some different references you can use. And different dates that you can remember that pertains to women health. Okay? All of this is going to change. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Then, this is when I was on my Handle Your Business series kick. And then I made this, which I really can't wait to redo this one. This is an awesome book. In this book, it basically breaks down your everyday, everything that you're going to do from the way you dress to what you need to say. For one thing, one of the things that it says in here, I'm sorry, As you can see, it talks about this. It tells you, who a book belongs to, which all books have. Your wardrobe check, the color, type, and describe what you have on that day, the month, the year, and the day. And then what's on the agenda today? What do you have to do that day? Do you have to meet a client? And always, it says down at the bottom, make sure to check the weather, do a mirror check. Don't forget your cell phone. Smile, say hello. They may be your next client. That's on each and every page to remind you those are the things that you need to do. So I can't wait. I love this book when I did it the first time, but it's so bulky, so I'm going to try to do it in a different way. Can't wait to work this. Cannot wait to work this book. That is my Handling the Business series that I'm going to redo and probably start trying to promote that. Then I said, you know what, maybe I need to go on the fiction side of the spectrum. And that's when I wrote White Dove, which I'm in the process of redoing this one too, or adding some more to it. And then this one, Secret Journal. Everybody had been asking for a while, it's been a while now, for me to give second parts to these books. So I think that's what I'm going to do now that I have the time. Now that I am a college graduate, I feel so proud of myself. I have my bachelor's degree in business administration, and I never really understood how important it is. I mean, whether I use it or not, I have it, and that's something people can never take away from you, is your education and your knowledge. Okay, so now got that out the way. Can't wait. Oh wow, I cannot wait till I start working on some other things, projects. I'm trying to just stay solid. It's so hard because I'm a person who's always doing something. I'm always doing something. I'm always got my hands on this, got my hands on that, all the time. But yeah, another thing I want to talk about, now that we got that out the way, I want to talk about some of the events that's taken place in the last couple of days and things that have been, again, my opinion. When I think about the ideal that the Paris, France terrorist attacks, and I know everybody has something to say about it. Everybody, including myself, have something to say about it. And one thing I can say is I am Sarah Baartman. If you know who Sarah Baartman is, if I am the Africans that France invaded. Right to this day, it's about 14 countries that they continue to get money from. African countries, excuse me, that they continue to get money from. There's one of their generals, or whatever you want to call them, back in the day, I'd say back in the day, that killed thousands of African Americans. It's a genocide of Africans. People say, well, Africa don't care about you. I don't believe that. I'm sorry, I don't believe that Africans do not care about African Americans. I don't see that. I mean, there's some of them that have a little attitude, and by right, that's what they want to do. But not all of them are like that. I can't believe all of them are like that. I can't. So it's just amazing how people do not realize that ISIS is us. It's so amazing. Yeah, ISIS is us. So when you get on your flag waving propaganda crap, it doesn't move me. And guess what? I have a big American flag outside my house. My husband put it up. The only reason why he did that is because I'm a veteran. If I wasn't a veteran, I don't think he would have put it up there. So that's the only reason why he does it. But it's just amazing. It's just amazing how we just fall for everything. I mean, us as black folks, we got to stop that. We got to stop falling for the okie doke. But let me say this, and it was mentioned. You can wave all the flags you want. You can change your picture on Facebook. You can have whatever you want. It's not really our business. But my problem is sometimes we're following all these different agendas, and they really not have anything to do with the over 1,000 people that's been shot in Chicago. It has nothing to do with Sarah Bland. It doesn't have anything to do with our Eric Garners, our Trayvon Martins. It doesn't have anything to do with them. It doesn't have anything to do with our Kendrick Johnsons. It has nothing to do with them. Okay? So I just don't find myself jumping on everybody's bandwagon whenever they say something. I have issues with that. I don't do it. I'm glad I am a person of my own uh, opinion in my own mind because I can't, I just can't. To each his own, if that's what you believe in. But I have a right to say what I want to say. I mean, I don't have to agree with you. And I'm not going to get on, on there and go back and forth with you. I'm just going to throw knowledge at you. That's all I can do. I can't sit there and argue on my opinion of something. I need to throw facts at you. And that's what I do. I try to throw facts at you. And I mean, something we have issues with. Um, and it's crazy, but that's how things are. I mean, we just have to tell it like it is. That's how they are. And in the process of that, some people get offended. They do. I don't understand what they do. And there's nothing we can do about that. Um, the idea that ISIS is us. Let's see if I can say that again. It's amazing. It's amazing. They've made Syria the slaughterhouse. They're killing people left and right. You look at Pakistan and Israel. And the belief is America and Israel created ISIS. Dick Cheney. Was Dick Cheney, Bush, the old Bush, and the new Bush, or the young Bush, the son Bush, that created ISIS. And the ideal now that the big story is that he's going to let 10,000 Syrians come over and stay in the United States in 14 states or 18 states or something like that. They're in an uproar. It just shows you racism. Please, y'all. And it's a study. I got to read this study or talk about this study that basically said that most of our killings in America is by white supremacists and Christians. And we all know that Christians are the biggest murderers, have murdered more people on this earth than anybody. But we don't want to hear that because we're so caught up. Nothing has really changed. It really hasn't. And we have to understand, history repeats itself. History repeats itself. And the ideal that we are blind to that fact, and we want to say this, we can't, because it is true. History does repeat itself. So what do we do when history repeats itself? What do? We just got to let it happen. We don't have control over that. Now, I'm trying to see where I have this reference page I have on here that I put everything on. It's called the Black Louisiana Associates of Consciousness Concerns. And excuse me, I don't know why I'm sleepy. Okay, let's see. Please forgive me. Okay. Let's go back. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Nope, that's not what I want. Don't want that. Nope. I got this new tablet and it drives me nuts. Hold up. Here we go. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's see. I want to read you some of the article um, that I found very, very, very interesting. If I can find it. Oh, it says, did you know most of the terrorist activity in the U.S. in the recent years has not come from Muslim, but from radical Christians, white supremacists, and the far right militia groups? Wow, thought that was interesting. Okay. Oh boy, don't tell me. Oh, here it goes. Here it goes. It says here the title of this conversation is "White Americans Are Biggest Terror Threat in the U.S." according to the study. It says, okay, hold on. It says, want to know what you need to know about the world. Fortunately, yes, can call you, try email this every day. Just sign for. Oh, it says white Americans are the biggest terror threat in the United States, according to a study by the New American Foundation. The Washington-based research organization did a review of terror attacks on U.S. soil since September 11, 2001, and found that most of them were carried out by radical anti-government groups or white supremacists. Almost twice as many people have died in attacks by right-wing groups in America than have died in attacks by Muslim extremists. Of the 26 attacks since 9/11 that the group defined as terror, 19 were carried out by non-Muslims. Yet there are no white American languishing inside the prison camp at Guantanamo Bay, and there are no drones dropping bombs on gatherings of military-aged males in the country's lawless border regions. Attacks by right-wing groups get comparatively little coverage in the news media. Most people will struggle to remember the shooting at the Sikh temple in Wisconsin that killed 6 people in 2012. A man who assassinated the neo-Nazi groups carried out that shooting. There was also the married couple in Las Vegas who walked into a pizza shop and murdered 2 police officers. They left a swastika, on one of the bodies before killing a third person in a Walmart parking lot. Such attacks are not limited to one part of the country. In 2011, it says 2 white supremacists went on a shooting spree in the Pacific Northwest, killing 4 people. Terrorism is hard to define. Terrorism is hard to define, but here is the basic meaning: ideological, violence. In its study, the New American Foundation took a narrow view of what could be considered a terror attack. Most mass shootings, for instance, like Sandy Hook or Aurora, Colorado movie theater shooting, both in 2012, were included. Also not included was the killing of 3 Muslim students in North Carolina earlier this year. The shooter was a neighbor and had strong opinions about religion, but he also had strong opinions about parking spaces and the history of anger issues, so that shooting was left off the list. The killing of 9 people at the church in Charleston, South Carolina, last week was included. The shooter made it clear that his motivation was ideological, belief that white people are superior to black people. The shooting had cast new light on the issue of right-wing terrorism in the United States. But since it can't really use special forces or predator drones on U.S. soil, it remains unclear how the government will respond. Now, it's some more, but I'm not gonna. So, I mean, you think about it. It's saying it's more white supremacy and militia groups that are terrorists, and you might as well say that's what they are. And that was one of the other what's the name? I said, why can't we call KKK what it is, a terrorist group? Then I put up the definition of terrorism, and KKK fits that whole thing. It fits the definition. But we call them a hate group. No, 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 no. Hate group is so soft, and so non-relevant. They are terrorists on American soil. We're crazy and we're so mixed up, and we want having that white supremacy disease. It really, 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 really is killing them people because they're not understanding what is going on. They don't get it, and that's crazy. So I want to continue this, but right now I'm going to stop it and then I shall return. Talk to you later. Bye bye.